And the next speaker to introduce, it's about, let's say, countries on the one side and regulatory bodies on the other side, and of course the integration of regulatory science and this evolving HTA environment. And that's where Professor Rui Santos is with us today. It's a great pleasure having you here, and congratulations. He was elected chair of the EMA board a couple of days or weeks ago for the next 3-year term. Your background is at the School of Pharmacy in Lisbon University, and then you had many years at INFARMED, the Portuguese HTA and regulatory body. So in Portugal, as in Norway or in Italy, the two bodies are under one roof, which is a particular opportunity, but also a particular challenge, considering the different frameworks. And so it's a big pleasure having you here today and giving your perspective also from a heads of agency group. Thanks, Professor Rui Santos.
Thank you, Professor Jörg Ruoff. Thank you very much for inviting me. It is a big pleasure for me to be with you in this session this morning. And as has been said, I mean, it's good also that I speak after we had the presentation from Maya Matthews and also from Nicholas Edberg. So I will, of course, speak from the heads of HTA agencies group. And as has been said, this regulation is probably a bit special because it sets clearly that is on the responsibility of the member states to ensure that its objectives are fulfilled. And I think this was the purpose of the setting up this this group. As you have seen, it's not in the regulation, so it's not mentioned in the regulation. It was not in the charts, but we felt, the agencies, the heads of agencies, that it was very important to organize ourselves from the very beginning so that we could support the success of organizing HTA in the EU. We have also heard that it doesn't came exactly from the regulation itself. There was a long story before, but it was essential that the agencies were behind the process, were supporting the process. And here I wanted to, I will mention in a minute the role of the heads of HTA agencies. And we are now also trying to streamline a little bit because we started already in 2021, just at the end of the UNETA 21. Is that I think we had a very good collaboration between the heads of agencies and the European Commission, and of course the Coordination Group. And this, I think I need to say it here because this was very, very important. I mentioned in the presence of Maya in a number of occasions, not only in the presence of herself, but also had responsible in DG Santé. But I think this was crucial, and I think you will see in what I will mention how we see this as a positive development now that we are in the crucial phase, because from a couple of days we will start assessing the first applications. Telling you, as I said, the heads of agencies was set up from the very beginning. So we are a number of agencies. Not all the agencies are yet in this group. You see, there are 35 agencies. But they are not all of the agencies of the member states, not all the member states. But gradually we are all on board, and this is very important that we are together to advance the HTA collaboration. We have identified a number of objectives from the very beginning. Probably they will need to be a little bit adjusted now in light of the experience. We have, of course, also looked a little bit into a kind of sister group that is the HMA that exists on the regulatory side, and I personally had also some experience from that group. So the aims was to support the development of the joint work on HTA activities at EU level, also to support the preparation of national systems, because we were very conscious that although we had all the work of UNETA, but not all the member states, not all the systems are in the same development. We heard about the German experience. We know that there are other countries. We also have quite a long experience in our system in Portugal, with some difficulties as well in terms of resource. But of course, the support to the national, it was a key objective. Also, of course, the joint work that will be performed at European level, and also having this general responsibility or general role to work together with all the other parties involved in the process. As we've heard, this is very much about cooperation, very much about collaboration. So we have organized ourselves. I will not go probably into much detail in this slide, but just to highlight that, of course, in terms of fulfilling the objectives that we have established, we have organized the group in terms of developing these areas, and very much also working in terms of informing and communicating. Maya also highlighted the collaboration that was done in regarding the regulation. I will mention in a slide further that also the cooperation with other institutions like the EMA, which was now coming to a very concrete signal just published yesterday, and of course also to foster some collaboration at more international level. So this is just to give you the picture of the heads of agencies and our role, and where we are in terms of the landscape of HTA in the EU. And so now I will move into key elements that I wanted to highlight for the discussion. I mentioned here the report from Mario Draghi. Of course, the report from Mario Draghi will depend then on how the European Commission will take forward what is in the report. We've heard what is in the mission letter and what is the position of the Commissioner already in the interventions from Maya and Nicholas. But here there are 2 points that I wanted to highlight. Is that one is the coordination across the different players. I will not go into all the details, but I want to highlight this aspect. So the importance of coordinating regulatory agencies, HTA agencies, and also the payers. And Nicholas just finalized with a reference to the costs and to the needs to be sustainable in terms of the system. This will be key in terms of the implementation of the reports at national level. And also, of course, the capacity that we will have to be more competitive. Maya also highlighted that. And I think these are 2 elements that I think are very important that I wanted just to mention here. Of course, there are more, let's say, ambitious proposals that probably will come up for discussion in 27, 28, but this was just the points I wanted to highlight. Now, coming to some of the key messages I wanted to pick up. So again, to reinforce that this is a member states driven system, which is really important that we keep this in mind for its success. It's a shared responsibilities between many of the players, so it's very important that there is a trust in the system. This has been also mentioned, and I think, of course, we will have soon, it's not so long, it will be already in a couple of years that we will start looking to how we have been able to implement and to deliver in terms of the system, both in how the system is functioning, but also in how the outcome of the system has been incorporated, has been delivering in terms of the health systems, and also to access to innovation and to ensure patient access. So these are 3 points that I wanted to highlight. And then also I think this brings me almost to the end. So to focus on these 4 points. So one is the implementing of the regulation. I think here we are already in in a good situation, because I think we were efficient in putting all the pieces ready to work. The UNETA has helped a lot in supporting the process, but I think we have all the bases, I have all the tools to ensure the implementation of the regulation. Of course, there is also the need to adapt the national systems, and here it's still work to do. Many of the member states are doing this work. Some have already done. We have conducted in the context of the HTA group a survey within our communication group, and we saw, this meeting was the meeting we had in Rome in November last year, that there was a very positive indication of the preparation that was being done. So this is a good thing, but we need to continue supporting this process. Then another important element is the operational and resource capacity, and here it's really key, again, that the HTA group is clearly involved. There are two important elements. One is the financial resources. Again, here I think we were able to find a very good instrument from the Commission to put the resources available for the assessors, for the co-assessors, for the experts, for all the expertise that we need to put for the process. So this is very, very important that we were able, before we had to start to have this in place. We had this consortium that is ongoing together with the Commission group. So I think this is very important. And we are also developing a number of initiatives that are supporting the capacity building of this expertise. As I said, not all of us are in the same level of preparation, so this is very important that we have these initiatives. Marco Marchetti is leading one, the Hague Insight, which is one of them that is already ongoing, and I think this is also key. And finally, the last point is on the quality, and I put efficacy, probably I should put efficiency of the joint work. This is essential that we guarantee. We have now all the guidances, but it's essential that we guarantee that this work keeps the high level of quality and the evidence base that is necessary, that we ensure that this will be then incorporated in the decisions that we will take at national level. In my case, we do the entire HTA assessment, so we move then from clinical part to the economical part, and of course I will not repeat the clinical assessment, but of course I need that this clinical assessment is sufficient for me to continue then the second, or the two steps, the economical assessment and then the final negotiation. So this will be also crucial. And also in this context I wanted to flag here, which I think is for me a very important development. Michael is somewhere in the room, that we discussed together at technical level between the EMA and the HTA bodies to see how we could reinforce the cooperation and work on where are the needs in terms of generating the evidence, both pre-submission but also post-submissions, in order to go into this objective of ensuring the quality and efficiency of the system. And to conclude very briefly, just to let you know that we are also preparing, since we have now moved from this, let's say, phase of preparatory of implementation to the phase where we'll start really doing the assessments. So we are now preparing also a strategic plan in the context of the HTA agencies that we are planning to discuss in May at our next meeting that will take place in Oslo, where we want to, let's say, have a reference basis, a strategic reference basis for the coming years, which will be mostly for the period until we have the first assessment, the first evaluation of where we will be. This will be then framed by a memorandum of understanding that will be signed between all the agencies. I'm telling you something that has not been finalized, but I'm very confident that at our next meeting we'll conclude this process. Once again, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thanks very much for this presentation, and already a question to answer later on. Will the agencies have sufficient capacities for assessors and co-assessors? Perhaps for later on for the discussion.